Again, a very warm welcome to all of you present here and all our viewers watching at home. This is the AI Summit. And with an organization like India Today, Aaj Tak Group, we've always decided that in every new world evolving feature or aspect, we have to be the leaders. And so is India, thinking that we have to go straight forward, straight ahead in AI. Big dreams and the AI dream that we are going to talk about. Interestingly, I want all of you to clap for, this is the second Indian that we have on stage. Isn't this amazing? Like in our AI summit, we have these important companies. Your company, Rubrik, is based in America, and he's the founder and CEO of Rubrik, and he's an Indian. And interestingly, he's from Madhepura, Bihar.
Real Bihar, not Paschim Bihar.
Wow, interesting. A huge round of applause for this as well. Because from these little towns of India, people are emerging as the leaders in AI. And your company, Bipul Sinha, essentially works on data security and cyber security and AI company. From what I have gathered about your organization, I want to begin from there. How important is it that we have a disciplined execution of everything that we are talking about today in the field of AI? How do you see that happening?
Anjana, first of all, very excited to be here. Look, AI is 100 times more opportunities and 100 times more risk because models hallucinate and also they are prone to compromise. And if they are compromised, they can potentially do 10 times more damage in 1/10 of the time because they can write code, reimburse your customers, and run your business processes, and somebody sitting in North Korea can control your whole business. So every business has to think about how do they deploy AI with confidence and trust.
Yeah, but the way you've mentioned North Korea, thanks for drilling that in. This is the scare factor. You keep saying that 100x opportunity, 100x risk, but people are scared of the risk. Like, I'll tell you from my example. When my AI avatar was being made for Aaj Tak, and Kalipuri, our vice chairperson, decided that we should do this, I was a little scared, to be honest, because I was scared that, I mean, she's going to be doing anchoring on my behalf, what will happen to me? But then eventually she lured me by saying that imagine you can go on a vacation and she's going to anchor for you. You can be with your daughter at Oxford and she's going to anchor for you. And then I said, yes, ma'am. So, but that's great. But then from here, it has seeped into our daily lives. And closing the eyes will not push AI away. It's here. How do we build this bond with it? How do we make them the force multiplier for my performance?
For successful AI, it is very important to have the right guardrails. So a guardrail means that what AI can do and cannot do. For example, if there is a Bipul Sinha AI that is allowed to send email, I don't want that AI to send email to everybody in my company on every topic. So even if they have permission, there has to be a guardrail, and that guardrail has to be defined and enforced real time. And that is the challenge of AI. And this is what Rubrik is focused on. What we are telling our customers is deploy AI with confidence. Because if you look at countries such as India, AI has tremendous promise to deliver healthcare, education to far corners of India, but if people don't have digital trust on what they are interacting with, this whole exercise is moot.
Can AI replace you?
AI cannot replace me because I live in the future and AI lives in the past.
Okay, so here is the basic theme. The data is the engine for AI. And you work on data security. How does that whole process go? And how important is this?
Data is the key ingredient of AI. If there is no data or if you don't have confidence in your data, then garbage in, garbage out, and the whole AI stack is of no use. So what we are saying is that we will make the right data available to the right user on the right platform at the right time to really deploy AI. And if you think about it, making the data available is the key factor. And so what we are saying to our customers are that deploy AI, take your data, make your model completely optimized to your own environment so that models don't hallucinate and you have high trust and confidence.
Models don't hallucinate. I want to talk of the doomsday scenario that crosses a lot of our minds. What if there's a massive cyber attack? Like there's an attack and the wrong people take control of it. What happens then to humankind?
See, cyber attacks are inevitable, just like death and taxes. And for far too long, we have been focused on prevention and detection and not thinking about how do we come back up after an attack.
Exactly.
So whole thesis of us starting Rubrik was that how do we ensure that you can successfully recover and keep your services up and running? Because if you are running a hospital, you can't wait 3 weeks for cyber recovery to happen. You have to bring the hospitals back up because you have to deliver healthcare to all the patients. So every business, every government organization has to be prepared with resiliency. And that resiliency means, do you understand the risk and do you have ability to recover?
We have with us a minister from Canada. I think he's out of the room right now. Oh, yeah. But interestingly, I showed him my AI avatar and he said, I want someone to replace me now. Where's my AI avatar? I want to sign up for this now. I got to have my vacation in my hometown and I've got to do this. But coming back to that point, people have everything on their smartphones, right? From banking to everything. How does that make them vulnerable to any kind of, attack, as you call it? And because you're a data security company, cyber security organization, how does one prepare for that? How vulnerable does it make us in terms of our money, everything?
Look, if you look at the last like 10, 15 years, the digital intensity of our lives have increased because we get up in the morning and look at the maps. That's how we drive to work. We interact with each other over emails, not calling and talking to people all the time. So as the digital intensity has increased, so has the cyber risk. And so everyone has to now think, am I really prepared? I'm doing the basic hygiene. Do I have multi-factor authentication? Do I trust this person that I'm giving information to? So that's the basics. And then you need to have the ability to have been able to recover from a bad incidents. And so everybody has to think about that.
What exactly do you mean when you say we have to be, like we had other guests also who were talking about becoming AI aware? What exactly is this AI aware business? I mean, downloading some apps, navigating through it, or how does one go about it? Like so many students sitting here, how can one become AI aware?
AI is all about, can we do knowledge work automatically without human intervention? And so if you think about when I'm traveling to India, my assistant has to find a hotel, airplane, local transportation. These are knowledge work. So if you fast forward with AI deployment, all of it, she's not trying to reinvent the future. She's just taking the available information and compute what is the best way to travel. That AI can do. That is the knowledge work. So all of us have to think, what is our repetitive task, and can AI do that repetitive task and make local decisions without our intervention? But AI can only work on the past, and that's why I'm saying that us humans have to work on intuition, where we connect new dots, create new things. So all the jobs, all the opportunities around connecting new dots is going to be human work, and everything which is coded knowledge and data on which you can run the work will be AI.
You've traveled from Madhepura to California, built this company of yours, and what is your basic background? If I'm a little...
I'm an engineer turned venture capitalist turned entrepreneur.
Wow, that's quite a journey. Very interesting. But I get messages from US, from my relatives who tell me that you've just been talking about this diabetes medicine, and is it really good? And I say, I have not done any such thing. I'm coming to the issue of deep fakes. How does one deal with that? I can't tell my own avatar's voiceover, like her voice, from mine. How does one deal with deep fake?
Look, AI-based attacks have gone beyond human comprehension. And we need to go back in time and think, how did we solve some of these problems? If you go back to the late 90s, early 2000s, nobody was ready to swipe the credit card on internet because everyone was worried about, is this a real website or it's a fake website? And then we invented VeriSign that certified individual websites. So you will see innovations around deepfake where you will have a certified AI persona interacting on digital media.
Okay. And that certification is important for individuals.
Absolutely, because otherwise how will I know that I'm interacting with Anjana digitally versus somebody impersonating Anjana from a remote country?
Interestingly, I was at the summit yesterday and there were people who were coming up and asking me, are you Anjana or the AI Anjana? But how does India go ahead? See, it's important that we are not just a market for AI, because this is the challenge we face in most fields. India is seen as the biggest bazaar. But how do we become the drivers of this? How do you think? What are the 3 or 4, 5 steps that you would suggest for this?
Look, we are in the very early days of the AI-driven abundance or the new industrial revolution, as I like to call it, because now instead of factories producing goods, we have factories producing intelligence. But the India's opportunity is to how to harness that intelligence and create applied things like applications to deliver products and services to 1.4 billion population in India. This is a tremendous opportunity. If I look at my native state, Bihar, you have a large population that requires healthcare, education, understanding, reskilling, and AI could accelerate that journey of delivering healthcare, delivering education, retraining, enabling people to leapfrog into the AI economy even when they didn't take advantage of the digital economy, because now natural language is the way to interact with computer. So lingua franca has gone from learning to program versus speaking into the computer. So the tremendous opportunity for Indian entrepreneurs, but what is going to be most important is, do they have a unique perspective on delivering such an application, not just mimic, as Hemant said, what is happening other places around the world. What is a unique Indian...
Need-based, unique innovation.
Unique innovation delivered to your unique audience, because Indian market is massive.
Indian market is massive. And the other thing that I was trying to come to is all the youth sitting here, the first question when you talk to them about AI is about losing their jobs. And I let you pass through that question where I said, will AI one day replace Bipul Sinha? But it's a real fear. It's a real fear that a lot of children face. They look for fields in which AI will probably not be able to replace them. And that will be more human intensive. Do you see it happening like that?
Look.
Jobs.
If you look at the history of technology development, we went from agrarian economy to industrial economy to knowledge economy, and now we are transitioning into this new economy, I call it intuition economy. And throughout these transitions, the productivity gains were massive, and it created new jobs. Just think about it, Anjana. 15, 20 years ago, if I told you that somebody in Rubrik is a performance digital marketing expert, you would have told me that these are word salad. I don't even understand what you're talking about.
What did you say? Performance?
Digital marketing expert. So people who do digital marketing on Google.
The kids are going to ask me, where do we learn this?
No, but what I'm saying is that such a thing was unknown 20 years ago. Now the performance marketing in the digital realm is a real profession, and thousands of people do that job. So similarly, in the world of AI, you will have new jobs being created that we can't even envision.
Then universities need to get up for this.
100%.
Is that happening? I don't see that happening.
Look, most of the universities are still living in the industrial era, let alone the knowledge era. But at the end of the day, if you look at the youths of India and the massive opportunity that we have in India, is how do they learn AI? And the beauty of AI is nobody knows anything. As in, what will happen in the future is everybody's guess. So if you have a unique intuition, unique idea, unique way to deliver product and services, leveraging the factories of intelligence, that's where the opportunities are.
Three important fields for India. One, agriculture, one, health, and one, education. I think these are the three focus areas for our country and our government that have always been, and we are still working on it. Any interesting AI innovations that you've come across in these, or you feel has a lot of scope or a lot of future, especially in a country like India?
I mean, if you just look at healthcare, Vinod Khosla always says that 70-80% of a job of a primary healthcare provider can be done by AI, because they are not telling you anything that has not been invented yet. They are telling you everything that is a knowledge based. So if you think about, can we deliver AI-based doctors to the far corners of our country?
But then what happens to the primary health workers and the doctors?
They will look at things that are new to them, that are not repetitive, because they would also find that more interesting.
Okay. What about agriculture? Because I was there at the summit yesterday, and they had these little machines, and where the soil was telling them if there was too much water, less water, like we talked before, because the natural factors actually decide the productivity of a crop. So that was also interesting.
I mean, look, if you look at the whole supply chain of agriculture, from soil to grains to the markets and local mandis and prices in local markets, AI can help at every step of the way. Because AI is all about, can we bring all the knowledge of the world in a singular place? And that knowledge is now at the fingertips of everyone. The power of AI is a kid growing up in Palo Alto, California versus growing up in Patna, Bihar. They have exact same knowledge of everything that has happened so far in the world. Isn't that tremendous?
Yeah, it is. और अब जरा हिंदी में भी बात कर लेते हैं, देखते हैं बिपुल जी को अब कितनी हिंदी अपनी याद है मधेपुरा की. बट जब आप पूरे भारत में आज देख रहे हैं कि एक बजिंग एक्टिविटी है एआई के इर्द गिर्द, और हम लोग ये चर्चा कर रहे हैं कि कैसे हम एआई में लीडर्स बने, सिर्फ बाजार ना बनकर हम लीडर्स भी बने, तो जो सबसे बड़ी बात है आप हमारे दर्शकों को, बच्चों को बताना चाहें कि किस चीज पर उनको फोकस करना चाहिए. और जब आप डेटा सिक्योरिटी कहते हैं तो आपने रिस्क असेसमेंट भी किया होगा, आपको ये समझ में आ रहा होगा कि सबसे बड़ा खतरा क्या है, वो क्या है आपकी नजर में?
सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये है एआई में कि जो लोग एआई अडॉप्ट कर रहे हैं, जो कस्टमर्स हैं, उनको कॉन्फिडेंस है कि नहीं एआई में. क्योंकि उनको अगर कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं होगा तो वो कभी प्रोडक्ट यूज ही नहीं करेंगे. सो हाउ डू यू डिलीवर ट्रस्ट? कैसे आप लोगों को ये बताएं कि जो डॉक्टर जो बोल रहा है फोन के ऊपर, ये रियल डॉक्टर है, ये फेक डॉक्टर नहीं है.
हाँ, कैसे पता चलेगा?
वही उसी पे तो काम करना है. दैट इज द टेक्नोलॉजी दैट पीपल हैव टू डेवलप, कि ये डॉक्टर रियल है, ये जो भी आपको कृषि के बारे में बता रहे हैं ये रियल है. बिकॉज ट्रस्ट जो चीज है ना, जब नॉलेज बहुत ज्यादा हो जाता है, हाँ. तो ट्रस्ट एंड हैविंग अ फेथ इट बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
मोडस क्या होगा? सर्टिफिकेशन करेंगे आप एआई डॉक्टर्स का? कल मैं वहां पर प्रसून जोशी जी के साथ एक सेशन कर रही थी. अब वो एक कवि है, वो एक राइटर है, वो एक लिरिसिस्ट है. हमने कहा कि अब अगर मैं प्रॉम्प्ट दूं एआई को कि प्रसून जोशी के स्टाइल में एक शेर लिख के दो, तो वो लिख के आपको दे देगा. लेकिन फिर उसका क्रेडिट आप किसको देंगे? प्रसून जोशी को देंगे, उस एआई ऐप को देंगे, या जिसने प्रॉम्प्ट दिया है उसको देंगे? सर्टिफिकेशन कैसे होगा डॉक्टर से लेकर कवि तक का?
सर्टिफिकेशन होगा ब्लॉकचेन पे. बिकॉज ब्लॉकचेन पे आप अगर किसी भी कवि की कविता डाल दें एंड जो कोई नई चीज आ रही है, अगर आप उसको वेरीफाई करें, और ब्लॉक तो अवेलेबल है टू एवरीबडी इन द वर्ल्ड, देन यू कैन से कि ये बात नई है या उसी को घुमा फिरा के कही गई है. और अगर ये बात आप ठीक से वेरीफाई करें तो तब आप कॉन्फिडेंटली डिलीवर कर सकते हैं. सो इंटरनेट के ज़माने में ब्लॉकचेन से लेके करेंसी से लेके डिलीवरी मॉडल सब कुछ है, और यहीं पे एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप आएगी. यहीं पे लोगों को ये सोचना होगा कि हम इन सारी चीज़ों को कैसे यूज़ करें इन अ यूनिक वे दैट यूनिकली सॉल्व्स द प्रॉब्लम. देखिए, पैसा किसी भी फील्ड में कमाने के लिए ये बहुत ज़रूरी है कि आप कुछ नया करें, क्योंकि जो काम हो रहा है वही आप रिपीट करेंगे तो आप कभी पैसा नहीं कमाएंगे। तो आपको नए तरीके से सोचना पड़ेगा कि अपॉर्चुनिटी कहाँ है, और जो नए तरीके से सोचने की बात है उसी में रिस्क है और उसी का रिवॉर्ड है। तो आपको ऐसे सोचना पड़ेगा कि दुनिया जो है, हर चीज़ जो नोन है वो एआई को पता है, तो आपको अननोन वर्ल्ड में जाना पड़ेगा और वहाँ पे प्रूव करना पड़ेगा कि आपकी जो नई थीसिस है वो सही है और दुनिया उसको मानेगी। और आपको जितनी अवेलेबल रिसोर्सेस हैं उनको कनेक्ट करके नया दिशा दिखाना पड़ेगा और नए तरीके से प्रोडक्ट एंड सर्विसेज डिलीवर करनी पड़ेगी।
अब देखिए विपुल जी, आप तो मधेपुरा से चले गए कैलिफोर्निया। मेरा सवाल आपसे ये है कि दे से दैट डेटा इज द न्यू ऑयल, तो आप कुछ भारत में क्यों नहीं करते हैं? भारत में को लेकर कोई प्लान आपका?
भारत में बिल्कुल कर रहे हैं। रूब्रिक में 1000 से ज़्यादा लोग हैं इंडिया में, हमारे इंडिया ऑफिस में, बेंगलुरु ऑफिस में। एंड हम लोग ये भी कर रहे हैं कि इंस्टेड ऑफ इंडिया जस्ट बीइंग अ सपोर्टिंग सेंटर ऑफ रूब्रिक, हम लोग प्रोडक्ट को स्क्रैच से डेवलप कर रहे हैं इंडिया में फॉर द वर्ल्ड। सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल हमारे क्लाउड प्रोडक्ट्स, हमारे सिक्योरिटी प्रोडक्ट्स आर completely developed in India, and our engineers in India are going around the world talking to customers and selling those products. Because I had this idea that for both in America as well as in India, let the 1,000 flowers bloom. And if we hire talented engineers who see how to build products and how to sell products, how to go interact with the customers, then they will have confidence to go start their own businesses. And I want everybody to think, if Bipul kar sakta hai, to why not me? And that's what we want to enable youngsters to think.
15 साल पहले आपने ये कंपनी शुरू की थी।
12 साल।
12 साल। तो आपके मन में क्या ऐसा आया कि या मतलब जो जिसको कहते हैं यू हैव टू बी वेरी फ्यूचरिस्टिक इफ यू वांट टू टेक स्टार्ट थिंग्स लाइक दिस, तो आप क्या आपके जहन में आया था? व्हाट वर द 5 फैक्टर्स दैट कन्विंस्ड यू? 5 बातें जिसने शायद आपको कन्विंस करी कि मुझे ये करना चाहिए। डेटा सिक्योरिटी, साइबर सिक्योरिटी, फ्यूचर में एआई का रेलेवेंस आप देख रहे थे, उस वक्त आया था, नहीं आया था, क्या सोचा आपने?
जब भी आप कोई कंपनी शुरू करना चाहते हैं, अगर आप सोच गहरी हो जाए तो इरादे कमजोर पड़ जाते हैं। तो आप इतना नहीं सोच सकते हैं कि क्या होगा और हर चीज़ का क्या इम्प्लीकेशन है। आपको यही सोचने की जरूरत है कि जो चीज़ आप देख रहे हैं, विदाउट प्रेजुडिस एंड विदाउट जजमेंट, इसमें रियल अपॉर्चुनिटी है। और अगर उसमें अपॉर्चुनिटी है तो यू जंप इन विथ 2 hands and 2 feet and then figure out while you are in the water that can you swim or sink. So इतना ज़्यादा आप नहीं सोच सकते हैं कि कितने इम्प्लीकेशंस होंगे और क्या होगा। आपको एक एंगल पता होनी चाहिए और देन आप टू गो वेरी वेरी हार्ड एट फिगरिंग आउट, बिकॉज बिजनेस बिल्डिंग इज लाइक starting a religion or learning curve, because you have to find believers and you have to have conviction in yourself to be able to convince people, because the whole world could be a customer, but you need to find early believers who will take your message and propagate it.
I think that's the best way in which this can be explained, because it's nothing less than starting a new religion. If you want so many believers, if you want so many people to actually follow you, एक नए धर्म की शुरुआत की तरह है, जहाँ पर आपको चाहिए लोग जो विश्वास करें आप में, वो भरोसा आप बिल्ड करें। अब अंत में चलते चलते अगर 2-3 सुझाव आप दें आने वाली पीढ़ियों को, या जो इस वक्त भी सुबह के इस वक्त में अपने कॉलेज में कहीं बैठे होंगे और आपको डिजिटली बाद में सुनेंगे, तो बिपुल सिन्हा का जो सक्सेस मंत्र है, जो सफलता का मंत्र है, उसमें 3 बातें जो आपको लगता है कि ये करेंगे तो आपके लिए रास्ता खुलेगा।
So 3 बातें में नंबर 1 ये है कि आपको हमेशा सोचना पड़ेगा कि nobody knows anything, particularly when it comes to the future. Because अगर फ्यूचर नोन होता तो स्टॉक मार्केट एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता। सो आपकी अपनी जो थिंकिंग है और आपका अपना जो इंट्यूशन है वो उतना ही बड़ा है जितना किसी को 20 साल का और 50 साल का एक्सपीरियंस और रिपीट एंटरप्रेन्योर है उसको होगा। बिकॉज दोनों लोग फ्यूचर के बारे में सोच रहे हैं और सबका नॉलेज सेम है। सो आपको पहली बात ये सोचनी होगी, nobody knows anything. सेकेंड आपको सोचना होगा, ऑलवेज टेक काउंटर कंसेंसस बैट। सो अगर सब लोग बाईं तरफ जा रहे हैं तो आप दाहिनी तरफ जाइए, बिकॉज अगर बाईं तरफ जाएंगे जहां सब लोग जा रहे हैं तो वहां कोई पैसा नहीं है।
दाईं तरफ खाई निकला तो
वो तो आपका लक है और आपकी मेहनत है, पर अगर सब लोग जिधर जा रहे हैं आप उसकी उल्टी दिशा में जाइए, हमेशा नई तरीके से सोचिए। सो दैट्स नंबर 2। एंड नंबर 3 है, जब आप ये दोनों काम कर रहे हो तो बहुत अपहीवल होता है ऊपर नीचे मेंटली, कभी लगता है आप जीत रहे हैं, कभी लग रहा है आप हार रहे हैं। सो आपको ये विश्वास होना चाहिए कि सब ठीक होगा। सो थर्ड थिंग इज, आपको हमेशा एक कॉन्फिडेंस होना चाहिए, ऑल विल बी वेल। व्हाइल यू आर ट्राइंग टू think nobody knows anything, take counter consensus bet and have confidence that all will be well.
Wow, we'll remember that when we make big decisions in life, and especially the kids and young generation that's listening to you. Bipul Sinha, for coming here and talking to us and being a part of the AI Summit, we thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Appreciate the opportunity.